Number 10. Britney Spears. Oh baby, baby. How was I supposed to know that Kelly didn't like her at all? Recently, pop singer Britney Spears has addressed a long-standing grudge that she's had since 2007. Spears commented that Clarkson did an interview for a radio station called Q100 around the same time that Britney had just released her album Blackout and was going through a highly publicized divorce from dancer Kevin Federline. In the radio interview, Clarkson quipped that it would be funny if Britney was pretending to be having a hard time simply to promote her album. She went on to point out that Britney had done little to no press for her album, which Kelly totally loves, by the way, just to let us all know. I'm sorry, did you want Britney to take time out of her busy schedule, touring, dealing with a nasty divorce, and having her entire life controlled by her father? Oops. Sorry, looks like she can't make Fallon tonight to do that promotional video. Number 9. Ellen. After 19 seasons of her long-running talk show, Ellen called it quits and canceled the program following allegations of a toxic work environment. Do you see where I'm going with this? Those allegations were confirmed after Warner Brothers did an investigation into the day-to-day operations of the studio and found some flaws in the system. Behind the scenes, staff members were being mistreated and bullied, with many even claiming that working for the show was mental torture. With the cancellation of the Ellen DeGeneres Show comes a primetime afternoon slot on TV, and Kelly Clarkson's show swooped in to take it. This was a good move for Kelly and her ratings, but check this out. I think Ellen, in her last act of power before being canceled by the world, was to replace her own toxic show with another one that she knew would be just as bad. Ellen must have set this up so that Kelly and her show would also get investigated and be exposed for the toxic environment that it truly is. This seems to have worked, as rumors are now circulating from former employees of the show claiming similar wrongdoings from Clarkson. Will these rumors hold merit? Only time will tell. We'll end the news. Number 8. Blake Shelton. Country music artist Blake Shelton has been a judge on The Voice since day one of the show, but ever since Kelly sat in that big red chair, herself and Blake have had quite the beef. While initially their back and forth banter on the show was seen as entertaining, the longer it went on, the more real the situation was becoming. In the eyes of the on-screen viewers, these two were in a serious workplace dispute, and it distracted people from the actual singers on the stage. Clarkson and Blake would have spats over the years, but recently it was announced that Shelton would be vacating his red chair and leaving the show at the end of season 23. While longtime fans of the show were noticeably upset, Kelly was thrilled by this announcement, claiming that this move was a gain for humanity, in her own words, because we get to see less of him now. Now, hold on, let me just find my flashlight. I think there's a little bit of shade in here, it's kind of dark. Shelton responded saying that he would be happy to stay on the show for a 24th season on the condition that Kelly get let go instead. Yeah, there's too much Kelly on TV, we don't need more Kelly. Kelly's comments are very mean-spirited, which contrasts her talk show persona of happy and positive, so maybe Blake's leaving the show has some merit, maybe it's for a reason, who knows. Number 7. Steve Harvey. Show me liar! Number 1 answer, look at that on the board. Steve Harvey is well known as the host of the popular game show Family Feud, as well as a truly wonderful spokesman and life coach. It's jarring then to hear that Steve doesn't like Kelly at all. In 2017, Steve decided to transition into hosting a different type of program. He created the talk show, Steve, where his goal was to bring a late-night talk show atmosphere to an afternoon crowd. From this show, the world was gifted some wonderful and pure moments with Steve. He told us his life story and gave us advice on how to succeed in our own. However, Kelly wanted a better time slot, and after lots of trying, the studio ultimately decided to cancel Steve's show in favor of Kelly's. This did not sit well with Harvey, as he's been very vocal about his disagreements with the decision and Kelly as a host. You gotta wonder, if a man this pure is having problems with you, maybe you should look inward. Number 6. Avril Lavigne. In 2002, Avril Lavigne was one of the most popular artists around. I can still hear Skater Boy being blared at top volumes from my sister's room. It's wonderful. Those magazine posters will haunt me for the rest of my life. At the Video Music Awards of that year, Kelly Clarkson was presenting Avril with an award for Best New Artist for her song Complicated. Whether it was on purpose or not, Avril elbowed Clarkson as she was accepting the speech. She got Kelly right in the face, but was so in the moment that she just didn't even notice and just kept giving her speech. A few years later, after running into Clarkson at an event, Avril apologized profusely, claiming that she had no idea and had been blasted about it for years. But But I don't know, watching the clip when it happens, it almost seems like her arm gained sentience for a minute and like used that moment to hit Kelly. Like, what does her elbow know? What is it trying to warn us about?
We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with Bob Saget. Are you a fan of Full House? Then you probably know Bob Saget as Danny Turner in the show. Well, a lot of rumors have been going around about Bob and saying that he was inappropriate to the Olsen twins when they were on the show. First off, he admitted to being inappropriate with the Michelle stand-in, which was a real-life Michelle-sized doll that they would use to prepare for the scenes when Mary-Kate or Ashley weren't available for practice. He would get handsy with the doll and do disturbing things with it. The worst is what was said about him during the Comedy Central roast. A lot of the comedians made jokes about Bob taking advantage of the twins while on set. One joke talks about how Bob was only interested in the girls until they turned 21. But that is nothing compared to how dark and disgusting the other jokes were. Although they are jokes, it makes you wonder if there's any truth behind them. In our 4th spot, we have Marilyn Manson. Antichrist superstar Marilyn Manson has done some highly controversial things over the years, like engaging in self-harm on stage during one of his concerts. In 1995, he took a broken beer bottle and plunged it into his chest and then dragged it across his skin, wounding himself and leaving a permanent scar. He also got arrested at a Jacksonville, Florida concert for using adult toys publicly and then urinating on the crowd. Or how about the time he went grave digging and took human skeletal remains? He then took it back to his hotel and put the bones in a pipe and smoked it. I mean, that's just some of the many dark and messed up things that Manson has done. The list is very lengthy. In our 3rd spot, we have Bill Cosby. For years, there were allegations of Bill Cosby taking advantage of women. Then in 2014, comedian Hannibal Buress made a joke in his stand-up routine about Bill Cosby and all of this.
That shit is upsetting. If you didn't know about it, trust me. When you leave here, Google Bill Cosby.
The joke went viral and it allowed dozens of women to come forward and say that they were victims. By 2015, there were 35 women who came forward. As years went on, the number increased to more than 60 women. What's crazy is that The Cleveland Show and Family Guy all made jokes about Bill Cosby and what he was doing to women years ago. This was years before the situation came to light. So people were out here warning everyone about Bill for years. In our 2nd spot, we have Kevin Spacey. Over the years, a number of men have come forward claiming that Kevin Spacey tried to make advancements on them or that he had taken advantage of them. It started in 2017 when Anthony Rapp claimed that when he was 14, Spacey made a sexual advancement towards him. It didn't take long for other actors to come forward with similar accusations. But it seems like people in Hollywood knew about Spacey years before the allegations came forward. In 2005, Family Guy made a joke about Spacey. In a season 4 episode, as a dare, Stewie runs naked through a mall, saying, "Help, I've escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement." In 2017, when Anthony came forward, one of Family Guy's showrunners got questioned, and he admitted, and I quote, that there have always been rumors out there about him. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Harvey Weinstein. Years before Harvey Weinstein was exposed, a number of celebrities tried to warn us about him. Let's take a look at this interview with Courtney Love from 2005. While on a red carpet event for the Pamela Anderson Comedy Central roast, Love was asked if she had any advice for a young girl moving to Hollywood. She said, and I quote, "If Harvey Weinstein invites you to a private party in the Four Seasons Hotel, don't go."
Harvey Weinstein invites you to a private party in the Four Seasons, don't go.
After saying this, Love apparently got eternally banned from CAA, Creative Artist Agency. But wait, there's more! Elijah Woods was another celebrity who tried to warn everyone about Weinstein, and then he got blacklisted for doing so. He said that as a child he was never allowed to go to the Hollywood parties because people of power would take advantage of the young stars there. He said, and I quote, "If you're innocent, you have very little knowledge of the world, and you want to succeed. People with parasitic interests will see you as their prey. But no one listened to him. He tried to expose them and stop these disgusting things from happening. Instead, he got boycotted by major studios because of this. Starting off our list today at number 10, we have John Maloney. Timothée Chalamet and John's Twitter beef was so lovely and tender that it wasn't really beef at all. During John's stand-up set during Seth Rogen's Hilarity for Charity, he would explain why he was so annoyed with the actor when he revealed that his wife had a major crush on him. And then he would recall how him and his wife had an argument about John and Timothy's height. Of course, after the internet watched the event, they would see if Timothée had seen the clip. And not only did he see it, but he also responded with a brief yet genius joke of his own when he took to Twitter to say, "Yes, I watched it from the gas station." At first, that might seem like a random location to catch up on a latest Netflix viewing, but for those that turned in to see John and Nick Kroll's host the 2018 Film Independent Spirit Awards, it was a callback to a joke about Timothy's attire for the evening, which Nick compared to that of a gas station attendant. In the end, John did reply to the actor with both a heartfelt apology and invitation to do the amazing race together. Number 9. Lily Rose Depp. Despite sharing some beautiful moments together, Timothée Chalamet and Lily Rose Depp broke up, with some reports suggesting that the couple first split in early 2020 because of business reasons. Many then speculated that their split was probably because of their busy schedules, and that probably meant that they had no time to spend together. Another angle would be the two broke up, and it was hinted that there was a third party involved, as Lily Rose was linked to Austin Butler briefly after they broke up, and soon after Timothy split from Lily, he was pictured kissing Mexican actress Isa Gonzalez. In 2021, reports would then indicate that Timothy was spotted hanging out with Lily again, but nothing really happened after that, and they both remained single. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming number 8, we have Pete Davidson. So in 2021, Pete Davidson would joke about how it's annoying to be Timothy's friends as he's both attractive and talented. Davidson then went on to tell the Gold Derby, "Usually you're only allowed one like I am, but I don't know which one it is. It's debatable on both sides." Pete then went on to make fun of Timothy during the interview, where he also indicated that Timothy might not be returning to SNL in the future. Pete then went on to note, "He's just one of those people you're like, what the F is up with this kid? Then you meet him, you're like, oh yeah, I get it. Charming, nice, talented, okay, I get it." Beforehand though, back in 2018, Pete Davidson did take a jab at Timothy during an SNL episode when the show did a sketch about Family Feud, and Pete's portrayal of Timothy as a bashful take that portrayed Timothy being a sophisticated young woman had us all screaming. Number 7, Zendaya. When the world was still questioning what was going on with Zendaya and her Spider-Man co-star Tom Holland, no one would expect Timothée Chalamet would call her out for having a celebrity crush on Tom, and possibly hinting that there was more to all of our theories. Ahead of their movie release of Dune, co-stars Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya took a BFF quiz for BuzzFeed, during which they were asked to name their celebrity crush. In a response, Timothy quickly answered for his leading lady by saying, "Easy, Tom Holland," to which Zendaya let out this adorable little giggle, but at the same time, she kinda shot Timothy a look like, man, this was supposed to be a secret. Not only would the internet start to gush over Zendaya's reaction, but fans were soon swooning over her notable 3 seconds of blushing, with one Twitter user pointing out that she just gets happy and lights up every time she hears Tom's name. Number 6, Megan Fox. Okay, there's been a lot of rumors swirling since Megan Fox deleted her Instagram page following reports that she may or may have not just ended her relationship with MGK, with the actor deactivating her account on social media before she left the platform just a few hours after she sparked rumors that her relationship with MGK was over by deleting every photo of Kelly from her Instagram page. She also unfollowed him on the platform. While Megan also went on to purge her following list, she would also be left following 3 accounts, which included Eminem, Harry Styles, and Timothée Chalamet. While it makes sense that she would unfollow Eminem on the platform since MGK and him were beefing, and Eminem pretty much destroyed MGK's career after the star came for him. But what doesn't make sense is why the actor would follow Harry Styles and Timothée Chalamet. Now Barstool Sports is suggesting that there may be a little more to the story, as the actress may have hooked up with Timothée Chalamet and Harry Styles, and that's why she followed them, so she could get one final dig at her ex-fiance. Number 5. Melanie Wright Sprouse. When speaking to Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO, he would accuse his estranged mother of being a wicked narcissist, as he previously claimed that she forced him into the acting industry with his brother to help her satisfy her own needs for validation. But the actor now claims his mother is the one that pushed him and his brother into the industry with a view of profiting off of their talent after divorcing his wonderful father. In an interview, he would say, "My mother was and is the artist type. She struggled with, in many different ways, her place in the world. I think she found a tremendous sense of self-identity through motherhood and tried to turn it into a profitable business at the same time," which for identical twin boys is going into acting as an economic loophole. But an inside source has revealed that as a single mother, Melanie has explained that she did everything she could to give her sons the best possible life they could have, the only way she knew she could, and that she never wished her sons to feel the way they are feeling, and she just wanted them to feel loved. Number 4. Jimmy Fallon. When Cole Sprouse appeared on a Zoom version of The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, his set Zoom background picture of Jimmy alone in his own audience, and then they made a joke about how Cole was looking a little more like a waxwork, to the point Jimmy even had to ask, "Have you been to any waxwork museums recently?" To which Cole would respond by making an uncalled remark about his acting on the show Riverdale by saying, "Besides the set of Riverdale, no." It was pretty obvious that in that moment he was talking about the acting altogether on Riverdale, which is honestly pretty ballsy considering the show pretty much got him back into acting, and he still has to act with the people on the show, so making fun of their acting just proves that the actor is actually pretty self-absorbed. Number 3. Madeline Pelt. When Cole and Lily Reinhardt split, Madeline would clap back at the two's breakup by saying it was so cool, but it seemed to be a little too sarcastic. While people were talking about how it was clear that both Cole and Lily were clearly in a bad place before their breakup, Madeline out of nowhere would open up about the breakup when speaking to Access by saying, "I love them. I don't even know how they come up with this stuff." Madeline would then go on to note that she never really thought their relationship would last in the long run, and that their personalities did seem to clash often when they were together. She would then reveal to people that things felt super heavy in the relationship for a while, and it even got too much for the both of them, and this is why they allegedly broke up. It would then be revealed that the pair's breakup was actually really messy, as they were on the same show together and they needed to handle things very carefully going forward. Number 2. Reina Silva. It seems like just after Cole Sprouse split from Lily, he would find himself linked to a handful of different women, and one of them was named Reina Silva, who he was linked back with in October 2020. So Reina is a Canadian model from Vancouver, and the two seem to have become extremely close, but it would later be revealed that Cole never really saw relationship potential in her, and he only really saw her as a rebound. And throughout the relationship, Reina would make comments about how she was constantly getting compared to past girls in Cole's relationship, not only by fans but by Cole as well. Following months of speculation, Cole would finally release his statement that he and Reina had split, and many would start to speculate that it was because he was on a trip visiting Reina in Vancouver when he met Ari Fournier. Then in February 2021, Cole would be pictured with Ari and they would be spotted cozying up together in Vancouver. The actor then made his relationship with the model official 5 months later of July that year, and recently the star gushed about his girlfriend on the Call Her Daddy podcast by saying, "The current relationship I am in has woken me up to what real compatibility and trust look like in a way that I've never had before." And coming in at number 1 today, we have Alyson Stoner. Back in 2016, Alyson Stoner would reveal that her and Cole's relationship ended in a pretty dramatic way when she explained that she used to date Cole, but their relationship ended abruptly and unexpectedly. While the two were actually only 11 at the time, Alyson was kind of disappointed in how the actor chose to do it and just wished he would have been a little more mature and picked a better time to do things. As it turns out that Cole broke up by texting Alyson saying that things just weren't working out. But to make things even worse, the breakup occurred on her birthday. Now, they were able to remain friends after the fact, but Allison always had to hold back her heartbreak as this was a pretty rough thing to go through as a preteen. Things definitely did end up on a sour note between the two, and Allison also revealed that Cody was the first boy she ever had a crush on, so she was hoping it would have worked out better between the two. Coming in at number 10 today, we have Ariana Grande. The rumors surrounding Ariana Grande's alleged diva behavior has been circulating online for years now, while Ariana has been denying the claims. In 2014, she would make an appearance on the Australian radio show Mike E and Emma to say, "That's not real. That's nonsense. My fans know who I am, my family knows who I am, my friends know who I am, and that's all that matters." However, someone would then disagree with Ariana's claims. E! News correspondent Juliana Rancic would say, "I think she does have a little bit of a diva thing going on." The TV host would say, "I remember I think I was at the AMAs, she came up to the platform, and I normally stand on the left side of the camera. I had to fight 13 years to get this side of the camera. It's my good side. But I fought 13 years for it. Okay?" Little Ariana comes over and I feel like bing, elbow in my side. I'm like, "What's going on?" And they push me to the other side. While the thought of the two stars fighting over their good side to be shown on the camera sounds hilarious, we weren't really surprised Ariana Grande won this round because don't forget, if she wants something, she'll get something. So, thank you next. Coming at number 9, Christina Aguilera. Christina Aguilera has built up quite a reputation for not being the friendliest person among the Hollywood's elite. One celebrity this pop star has apparently rubbed off wrong with is Valerie Bertinelli. TV host Andy Cohen would once even ask Valerie to spill the dirt on what went on between the two starlets during a 2014 episode on Watch What Happens Live. She would clarify that she and Christina didn't have an all-out feud, but the singer did snub her once at one of her ex-husband's, Eddie Van Halen's, concerts. Valerie would say, "I was a fan at the time and I went up to her because she was at a Van Halen concert and I said, 'Oh my god, I think you're a beautiful singer,' and she went, 'Yeah, whatever,' and gave me the cold shoulder. And I thought, V, I'm a fan, you can't be nice to me." Now, it's clear that Christina Aguilera hates compliments. However, after Andy asked Valerie if she's ever seen Christina again, the hot in Cleveland star would reply by saying, "I have not, but you know what? She may have gotten better, but I heard she hasn't." And the rumor has it that Christina isn't the nicest person that she's perceived to be on TV and in the movies. It seems like you maybe want to think twice before you give her a compliment because you might just get this unexpected reaction that may just break your heart. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming at number 8, we have Charlize Theron. So you probably shouldn't bother with someone while they're in the middle of a workout. But this is exactly what Tia Mowry decided to do during one particular soul class, and it didn't end up too well for her. In 2014, the former child star would recount a time where she allegedly and awkwardly got snubbed by one of her favorite actors, Charlize. Tia would say, "She wasn't really nice to me. I said hi, and she actually rolled her eyes and said, 'Oh my god.'" Tia would then add that there was no way that she was over the top with her hi, as she knew how to approach another celebrity. Later on, Andy Cohen decided to rehash the gossip with Charlize on an episode of Watch What Happens Next. Charlize would then say, "What a B," the starlet joked, and when she asked about the stitch, she would then say she never heard this story, and she would ask if Tia actually said it or was it just written. When Andy explained that the tale was originated in the tabloid, Charlize would then respond by saying, "Oh, well, you can't go by that, right? I'm really nice at SoulCycle, actually, because once my endorphins kick in, I'm actually almost too friendly." Later, Tia would even clear the air in 2017 and say it was all blown out of proportion. But was it, Tia, or are you just saying that so she won't roll her eyes at you during the next session? Number 7, Michael Jordan. Now, Michael Jordan is the GOAT when it comes to basketball. Unfortunately, it seems the legendary player's intensity on the court has sometimes translated off it as well, which huge fan and rapper Chat Millionaire realized following an incident with the basketball giant in 2009. "I saw Michael Jordan taking pictures with girls and I was like, man, this is just that one moment I'm going to ask Mike for a picture. I kind of expected him to say no, so I wasn't mad if he said no. The way he said it, apparently when Chat Millionaire went over to ask for a photo, Michael would say, 'Oh, hell nah, man, I ain't taking no pictures with no ends.'" While many of us were shocked to hear this, the story would then obviously be picked up and streamed at the time, even among ESPN, which noted noted, there's also widespread support of the idea that Jordan is no saint. We can't help but wonder if the public perception of Jordan is shifting. As for number 23 himself, Jordan seemingly decided to prove Chamillionaire's claims wrong, as years later he was seen posting with fellow rap artist 2 Chainz in an Instagram snap. However, do we think this was just him trying to save his image, or was Chamillionaire actually lying? Number 6, Lea Michele. If you're an A-list celebrity, you should probably avoid being rude to an up-and-comer on the rise. Cue 13-year-old Hailee Steinfeld, who was en route home after a successful audition in December of 2009. Hailee would say, "I was on the Paramount lot." Glee also films on the lot, and I love that show. When Hailee saw Lea walking to her trailer, she would walk up to her and ask for an autograph. However, Lea would give her the cold shoulder and pretended like she was someone that didn't exist. A guy would then approach Hailee and tell her sorry, it's just not a good time. Hailee would then reveal that the whole thing was just so sad that she actually practically went home crying. Later, Lea would then tell Gossip Cop, who is known as Just Jared, that she heard that Hailee was upset and she felt terrible about it. Lea would then say, "The Glee schedule is so jam-packed that the PA probably pulled me so I wouldn't be late to set. I never meant to hurt her feelings. She's an extraordinary talent and I look forward to meeting her one day." However, after claims would come out saying that Lea made several of her co-stars' lives miserable while shooting Glee, it's hard to say if she was telling the truth, as her personality seems to kind of be snaky at best. Number 5, Shia LaBeouf. There seems to be so much drama on the Don't Worry Darling drama that even Shia LaBeouf would be fired from the set because Olivia felt like his combative energy led to actress Florence Pugh to feel uncomfortable, and Olivia felt like she needed to protect Florence. And then text messages between Florence and Shia were released, and the exchange would show that there was never bad blood in the first place between the two. And Florence even offered the latter to vent about the drama. After the Midsummer star even expressed her confusion about the actor's concerns that she was scared of him and said, "That's sad. Where did you get me being scared of you from? Don't be silly. I'm sorry that you feel that way." Before Shia texted Olivia saying that he was leaving the film, he would inform Florence that he was leaving by saying the issues on the set are more than just schedule conflicts, by saying, "Seems clear we have bigger problems than dates. I will back out in the morning." Number 4, Mireille Yoon. In a statement to ET producer, Mireille Yoon wanted to express the absurd gossip surrounding the set of Don't Worry Darling once and for all. After Vulture reported that Olivia and Florence got into a screaming match on the set when they were filming back in January 2021. According to the outlet, Florence disdain stemmed from Olivia's alleged frequent disappearances with Styles. Another pointed out the connection reportedly came from the then new couple when they attended a wedding together, and this would come after Olivia had alleged a lecture with the cast and crew about following proper COVID protocols. Following the report, Mireille would say, "As crew, we avoided addressing the absurd gossip surrounding the movie we're so proud of, but feel the need to correct the anonymous sources who quoted in a recent article. Any allegations about unprofessional behavior on set of Don't Worry Darling are completely false." Mireille also went on to call Olivia an incredible leader and director, but didn't mention Florence whatsoever, which seemed a little fishy. Number 3, Chris Pine. Seems like Chris Pine was in a total mood at the Don't Worry Darling's Venice premiere. While the actor was a total vibe when he stepped out onto the Venice Film Festival to celebrate the premiere of his new movie, he posed for photos alongside his co-stars. While Florence had skipped the presser in the morning, it seems like for the group photos, Chris would be placed in the middle of Olivia and Florence, and he didn't seem so happy doing it, as he was left looking dull, staring off into a distance, trying to fake a smile while he was dealing with the very tense drama of the two ladies' feud. Seems like the rest of the cast, like Chris, just had enough, and while he did go on to have a great time with Florence and Olivia when they were both alone, you could tell he wasn't really happy that he had to be close to the two women together, and that he just wanted the drama to be over. And to make sure tensions were slim that night, he also chose to sit in between Olivia and Harry. Number 2, Sydney Chandler. While all eyes were on the Don't Worry Darling cast when they hit the red carpet at the Venice Film Festival, September 5th for the film's world premiere, fans and critics alike discussed whether or not Florence and Olivia would interact with each other. However, what people didn't notice was that Sydney Chandler looked about out of it, as she refused to look at any of the cast members as they posed for group shots. As she stood in the middle of Harry and Olivia, Sydney would be seen looking off into a distance, and it looked like she was saying in her head, "Just pose so they can can get enough photos and I can leave this really awkward moment. Seems like everyone was on edge at the film festival because none of them really knew what to expect when it came to all the endless tabloid gossip and all the noise that they were talking about the feud that happened between Olivia and Florence. And it's understandable why Sydney would be so uncomfortable with being in the same room as the two ladies and why she was so on edge, because she probably thought Florence and Olivia were gonna lose it on each other, and Sydney could sense it and just went into another place in her head. Number 1. Kiki Layne. After Don't Worry Darling was released, Kiki Layne would address the prominent remark about her role in the movie just 2 days after it was released. With a surprising combination of acknowledgement and dissent, the actress would state on her Instagram how she, along with one of her other co-stars, had gotten very little screen time after being cut from most of the movie. After the movie premiered, Kiki would say the best thing about hashtag Don't Worry Darling, that I was lucky enough to meet Ariel Stachel. She then went on to shade the rest of the cast and crew by saying they cut us from the movie, but we are thriving in real life. Said that Kiki was set to have a couple of scenes with Florence, with Ariel, and they were just cut from the movie with no notice. At the end of the day, Kiki would shake it off and say she didn't care because she got her check, she got her man, and that she was thriving despite the major disappointment. Starting off this countdown, we have Charlie Sheen. Oh boy! Over the years, Charlie Sheen has done some pretty wild and highly controversial things. Let's take a look at some of these things, shall we? In 2014, Sheen was getting treatment for an abscess on his tooth. Apparently though, during this treatment, he freaked out at the dental technician, hit them, and then pulled a knife on the dentist. His excuse? He was high on, which doesn't make that any better. And of course, we have the huge divorce scandal with Denise Richards. Denise shed light on just how bad it was with Sheen. There were 17 pages worth of allegations, including him being violent and physical with her on a number of occasions. So this, among a huge list of other scandals, made a lot of people not like him. Plus, rumor has it that he slept with over 5,000 different women. So that in itself gives him a pretty bad reputation. 5,000. In our 9th spot, we have Tiger Woods. When news broke that Tiger Woods was cheating on his wife, it completely destroyed his career. Soon he lost almost all of his sponsors and his reputation was tarnished. He went from the world's #1 ranked golfer and almost lost it all. It all started in 2009 when Woods crashed his Cadillac outside of his Florida mansion. Then apparently his wife, in a rage, used 2 golf clubs to break the rear windows of the vehicle because she found out that he was cheating on her. Woods was all like, no, she actually smashed the window to save me from the vehicle. But of course, that wasn't the case, and people began to wonder what was up between the two. That's when US Weekly published a report that Woods had an affair. Shortly after, dozens of women came forward saying that they too had a relationship with Tiger Woods. Honestly, in 2009, this was one of, if not the biggest scandal of the year. I remember everyone was all like, ooh, Tiger Woods, I don't trust him, he's a cheater. But it seems like they have moved on from all that and they're letting him get back to golf. Moving on, at number 8 we have Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan was one of my favorite actors as a kid. Like, hello? Parent Trap, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, Mean Girls? She was in so many iconic movies. But sadly, the fame and fortune took a toll on Lohan. In 2007, she was arrested for drinking and driving. She went to rehab, and 2 weeks later she was arrested again. This time for possession of another DUI and for driving with a suspended license. This was just the beginning of Lohan's downfall. Over the years, she struggled with her drug and alcohol addictions. It really took over her life and ruined her career. And apparently when she did try to get back into acting, she was a complete diva on set and wouldn't want to leave her trailer to film the scenes. I really wish things would have been different for her. In our 7th spot, we have Lady Gaga. I remember when Lady Gaga first rose to fame, people were so weirded out by her. Her songs were hella catchy, but people weren't too fond of her crazy outfits or unusual music videos. She received so much backlash for wearing that meat dress at the 2010 MTV Video Music Awards. Also, remember when she hatched out of an egg? Or that time she covered herself with fake blood on stage during a 2009 VMA performance? Because Gaga pushed the boundaries, people were not a fan, and immediately they labeled her as someone who should not be trusted. Nowadays, things are different though. Her award-winning performance in A Star Is Born made people see just how talented and down-to-earth she really is. Also, can we talk about that movie real quick, because I bawled. I bawled. I can't get over it. Moving on at number 6, we have the Kardashians. You either really love them or you really hate them. Over the years, the family has had their fair share of scandals, from Kylie's recent swimsuit scandal to Kim and Kanye drama to denying getting work done, you name it. Sure, they might be entertaining to some, but to others they are bad role models and are setting the wrong example for kids. But if you are a fan, let me know in the comments below, which Kardashian is your favorite and why is it Kylie? I feel like everyone just likes her. No shade. She's cool.
Number 5, Molly Stevens. While not a celebrity in the Hollywood sense, to many fans of the singing competition The Voice, you will surely remember Molly's stellar audition with the song Heavenly Day. Kelly and fellow voice judge Blake Shelton hit their buttons almost immediately, which on this show, getting a button hit is actually a pretty good thing. The gimmick of this show is that contestants audition on a stage while the judges are facing away from them in large red chairs, so that they can just judge the singers solely on their vocal abilities. While judges often compare contestants to former musicians that they remind them of or enjoy, Clarkson compared Molly, who is openly a member of the LGBTQ community, to stars like Melissa Etheridge and the Indigo Girls, who are also members of that community. On top of this comparison, later on during the competition, Kelly would regularly pair Molly with other performers on the roster who were also open and in the community as well. And understandably, this upset everybody involved. While there was nothing wrong with her co-contestants, Molly called Kelly small-minded and claimed that she was pigeonholing her and the other contestants in the community, believing it will somehow increase the team's chances at victory. Molly was eliminated shortly before posting these allegations online, but Kelly claims that she also compared Molly to Patty Griffin, who is straight, and that it was kinda odd for her to leave that part out, but anywho, she's allowed to say what she wants. Moving on. Number 4, Chance the Rapper. The Voice is arguably one of the best reality singing competitions ever created. The judges judge solely on vocal ability, they build teams for artists to collaborate and move on in the competition. The only flaw? Well, it's the fact that the judges can steal people from other teams if they want to. During a segment of the series called Battle Rounds, coaches will put 2 of their own teammates against each other and they will sing the same song together. Following the song, coaches are tasked with choosing who will go on and whose journey ends there. During a recent season of the show, Kelly chose to eliminate a contestant named D Smooth over another one named Allie. As D was giving his goodbye speech, fellow coach Chance the Rapper hit his steal button, which allows him to steal another team's artist. Chance wanted to work with him so bad and was not ready to see this guy go. Well, Kelly said, "Oh, you want him now? Oh, okay, never mind, he's mine." She opted to use her playoff pass, which allows both artists in the battle to continue to the next round, but whoever the pass is actually used on gets to skip the next round and move directly to the playoffs. Chance was furious, and Clarkson seemed aggressive when using the move. She's literally quoted acknowledging that she knew that Chance wanted to work with D and just didn't care. It looks like Kelly's letting her dark side take a stroll. If you want something she wants, guess what? You can't have it. No. Number 3, Katie Hopkins. Katie Hopkins is a British TV personality known for making bold and controversial statements on the regular, and for some reason since 2015, Kelly has been the specific target of these ongoing freakouts. Whenever Kelly is brought up in her presence, she simply scoffs at the notion that her name is even worth your breath. While she regularly dismisses Clarkson's musical abilities altogether, she was once quoted as calling Kelly a chunky monkey. Jesus. Kelly responded to these comments on Twitter, and the feud has been strong ever since. These comments coming from a woman who looks like a troll and a Princess Diana had a baby. We should take anything this woman says with a grain of salt. Moving on. I don't like that lady. She must have said all this for some reason. Number 2, Carrie Underwood. Rumors of Carrie and Kelly having a behind-the-scenes beef have been circulating since 2016 when an inside source told Radar Online that Underwood threw a fit after Clarkson was asked to perform a solo on American Idol over herself. According to the source, Carrie caused serious drama with the final production of the show because she flipped out that she was stuck doing a duet with Keith Urban. Oh, I'm sorry, Carrie. Is Keith Urban not good enough for you? Just look at that man's hair. I'm sorry, we're getting off topic. She went on to say that the duet bogged down her overall press coverage, which was unwanted at the time, seeing as she was in the middle of promoting her tour. A year later, Underwood again expressed her anger towards Clarkson after she was asked to join The Voice as a vocal coach. Carrie wanted that job, and gosh darn it, she let us know. It would appear that there's some jealousy in the air for this one, as Kelly is also mad at Carrie. Why? Well, for being the best-selling artist to come from American Idol. The pair had rarely been seen together together before 2018 when they ran into each other at a red carpet event and decided to snap a pic. The combination of the uncomfortable off-screen moments mixed with their film spats on TV makes us think that Carrie was trying to tell us something this whole time. Besides, if you look at the photo they took together, it is very forced. And number 1, Brandon Blackstock. Taking our top spot is Brandon Blackstock. Now, while not a celebrity in his own right, Brandon has been working as a successful producer and TV executive for many years now. In 2013, he married Kelly Clarkson, and the two later welcomed their children, a daughter, River Rose, and a son, Remington. Fans were surprised to hear that the couple were calling it quits in 2020 after 7 years of marriage. Apparently, they had a rocky relationship from the get-go, and being locked together in a house for a year only made their problems worse. Kelly claims that Brandon is very laid back and go with the flow kind of guy, where she's a little more high-strung. Brandon has been warning us over the years of his rocky relationship to Kelly though, simply by using his eyes. Just look at the pictures of him with Kelly. His eyes are saying, "Hey, what have I done? Help!" To spend 7 years in a relationship you seemingly want no part in is hard enough, but to have the person that you're divorcing be on TV and in interviews telling people about it is extra brutal. But we wonder if she's doing this on purpose to get her side out before Brandon can reveal his side and possibly confirm the recent allegations of a toxic work environment on the show.
Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Dylan Sprouse. It's no secret that Dylan and Cole Sprouse have been acting together for years, as they have been since they were 8 months old. And while they have started movies and 2 beloved Disney Channel series together, there's a high chance that the two will never act alongside each other again. And for Dylan, he has one memory with his brother that would prove this statement, as they pretty much haven't forgotten about the cringiest audition experience they had together for the movie Cat in the Hat. When Dylan would tell young Hollywood when Cat in the Hat was auditioning, of course they would call every single person who looks alike to be thing 1 and thing 2. So we went in full force, and I remember we walked into a room and they said go crazy, and so my brother and I, probably being 8 or 9 years old, just started fist fighting. It was bad, and obviously they cut it off and were like, you can't do that. But that's what we knew as for crazy, so that was cringy. Number 9, Lily Reinhart. Back in August of 2020, Lily Reinhart really started to open up about her breakup with Cole Sprouse and the emotional months that came with it. In an interview with Refinery 29, the actor would say, "The last couple of months have probably been the most emotional few months of my entire life. My therapist told me, your body's going through withdrawal from love. You're used to having this exchange with happy chemicals between you and the person you're with." She then continued on to say, "In the moments of my life, I have dropped every ounce of pride that I had, and I had to be like, love me. Please take the pain away for a day, a second, an hour, just so I could feel that fix again." And now that Cole has gone on to humiliate the actress in the Call Her Daddy podcast, we're definitely going to see Lily address the comments, and she might not be so kind. After all, she is the queen when it comes to clapping back. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 8, KJ Apa. KJ Apa and Cole Sprouse are notorious for their near constant teasing and trolling of one another on social media. And while the two may appear to be good friends, they never miss the opportunity to poke a little fun at each other or embarrass each other when the moment arises. 2018 was the year the two went full force into some of the cringiest moments, like the time KJ found a picture of the two both at the age of 17 and he posted it to his Twitter account, and in the comments he would tell Cole that he would obviously have crushed him, not only today but also at the age of 17. Cole then went on to poke a little fun back by bringing up how big his check was by saying, "You wouldn't have even survived the weight of my wallet." So it's clear that Cole was referencing that he had a lot of money and a lot more than AJ because of his Disney paychecks and his net worth he built from the years of being a child actor on TV and in a movie such as Big Daddy, and that he's not afraid to flaunt his massive wallet like his humble castmates. Number 7, Casey Cott. Casey Cott, who is known for his role Kevin in the hit series Riverdale, once tried to diss Cole Sprouse, only for Cole to clap back and diss the actor for the amount of lines he carried in the last couple of seasons on the show. Back in 2020, when Cole made an appearance on The Tonight Show, Casey would share his thoughts on Cole's new bearded look by saying, "Why does he keep itching his awful beard? during the interview. Cole then responded by saying, "That hairy chin said more words in that interview than you did in the last 4 seasons." So it's clear that Cole thinks that being an actor with more lines means you're more relevant, and Casey just with his short little tweet exposed this. But what Cole got wrong is you don't need to have a big part to be a fan favorite or to hold a huge impact in a scene, as some of the biggest actors have had no words in certain scenes and their impact was huge. And a lot of people hit the comments to state that at the end of the day they still love Kevin more than they love Jughead. Number 6. Alexandra Cooper. When Cole Sprouse sat down with Alexandra Cooper on her Call Her Daddy podcast, what he wouldn't know is that the podcast would expose his true personality and fans would not be happy. Right after the post was posted, Riverdale fans would throw Cole Sprouse into the heat after he humiliated Lily Reinhart. When sitting down with Alex to discuss his much publicized breakup, the former Sweet Life of Zach and Cody star revealed that almost every one of his girlfriends have cheated on him, but the bone that Twitter had to pick with Cole was the truth on how their relationship ended. Lily and Cole, who dated for 2 years, split back in 2020. While initially it was stated their breakup was mutual, he switched up his story by saying, "It was me. I left. It was time. It absolutely lasted longer because we worked together. There was a lot of pressure, and you think if I had loved myself more, I would have left earlier." The footage posted would also show Cole had little no respect to the host while he was constantly smoking inside throughout the interview, and we would have never known his true colors if she never posted this podcast. Number 5. Lourdes. When Madonna's daughter Lourdes' romance with Homeland star Timothée Chalamet ended, Timothy would be quickly spotted locking lips with a brunette at the Westway after a premiere of Rock Doc Mistaken for Strangers. An inside source who attended Levi's bash would then state that Timothy even asked for the photos of the two to be erased. The mysterious girl was even noted to be a graduate from LaGuardia High School, where Timothy and Lourdes met. Madonna frequently did have her bodyguard attend the dates with both Timothy and Lourdes, and their split would come just after Timothy was caught smooching with another girl at the school, which hints that he may have cheated on her. And then Lourdes would actually be pictured looking fairly gloomy out in public. Number 4. Harry Styles. Back in 2018, Harry Styles would ask Timothée Chalamet if he can eat peaches still after his character in the movie Call Me By Your Name had to get pretty intimate with one, to which the actor told the singer that he was actually still able to eat peaches after he said, I can, but not without thinking about it. Harry then decided to make the interview a little more awkward for the actor when he said that after he watched the movie, he had a hard time eating one of his favorite fruits. Timothy then would be left in a position where he would say, "That's the most awkward scene to see with your parents in the whole world. My poor father." To which Harry would note maybe he's not the only one in Timothy's family to try this gesture, as his father might be into peaches as well. Timothy would also note, since the film, crew members on set almost at every stage door hand him at least a peach or two when he enters the set, and even his fans have asked him to sign them. Number 3. Armie Hammer. So back in 2021, Timothée Chalamet would address the allegations that were made against his co-star Armie Hammer. When Timothy was asked in an interview about Armie, he made his first comments on the widely publicized scandal that caused Armie to become a disgraced actor by saying, "I totally get why you're asking that, but it's a question worthy of a larger conversation, and I don't want to give you a partial response." With the two being so close, fans then started wondering why Timothy didn't respond to the allegations that were being made about his co-star. It makes you wonder why he even wanted to have a larger conversation about the matter. Then it makes you wonder if maybe he chose to be quiet about the situation because he knew what was happening behind closed doors and he just didn't want anyone to know his involvement in the matter. Number 2. Brian Swardstorm. Back in January, Timothée Chalamet's agent would shut down reports that indicated that the actor had auditioned for the leading role in Gladiator 2, with the rumors swirling around online after the news broke that Normal People star Paul Mescal was set to take on the role in the sequel. Unverified accounts started to claim that other contenders for the role included the likes of Austin Butler, Miles Teller, and Timothée Chalamet. However, later Timothy's agent Brian would quickly enter the conversation to refute the viral rumors by taking to his Twitter page to say, "I know one of these actors was shooting a film in the Middle East for the past several months, and he hasn't auditioned for anything in the last 7 years." Brian's tweet would then spark a mixed reactions from fans, as many started to bring in Timothy's industry connection into question to why the actor hasn't really had to work hard for his roles due to his uncle being a director, while his maternal grandfather was also a writer and screenwriter. Probably, it would have been best for Brian just to stay quiet on this matter, as now fans are assuming Timothée has never had to work hard for any of his roles in the industry like everyone else has. And coming in number 1 today, we have Florence Pugh. It's fun to think about what current young movie stars will eventually look back on most fondly, and with the most respect in the decades to come. For the moment, it certainly feels like we have Florence Pugh and Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya. They're among the brightest stars we have right now, and Florence has even compared her co-star, Timothée Chalamet, to being this generation's Leonardo DiCaprio. And it wouldn't be the first time this comparison has been made. However, I don't know if it's a compliment and if it was supposed to be a good thing or a bad thing, as it seems like lately Leonardo DiCaprio has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons, especially when it comes to him dating a woman like a 19-year-old model, which he was recently linked to last weekend. So while Timothée may be an amazing actor like Leonardo, it makes you wonder if he may share other qualities, like the same quality of liking younger women, and if Florence was hinting at that. Coming in number 10, we have Olivia Wilde. Even before its release, the set of Don't Worry Darling was plagued with rumors of a feud between co-stars Olivia Wilde and Florence Pugh. While not a lot is known about what happened behind the closed doors, it hasn't stopped a serious amount of speculation from circulating online, with people trying to uncover the reasons behind the alleged feud with the cast on the set. Despite director Olivia Wilde shutting down the rumors of any disagreement between her cast members, reports have suggested that the rumors first began gaining attention when Florence didn't promote Don't Worry Darling, unlike her promotion for other projects she was on. Then there were rumors that were fueled with other reports suggesting that Florence was uncomfortable with Olivia's relationship with Harry Styles, as some sources claim that the pair were growing on set after the director split from Jason Sudeikis, and an insider would tell Page 6, "I can tell you a fact, that flow seeing Olivia and Harry all over each other on the set didn't go down well, as Olivia was still with Jason when she first hooked up with Harry. Jason and the kids visited Olivia on the set in the beginning a few times, so I think this just made Florence feel a little uncomfortable." Number 9, Jason Sudeikis. Just as the drama on the set of Don't Worry Darling was taking off, Florence was set to make a cameo on an episode of Jason Sudeikis' show, Ted Lasso, but the scene was abruptly cut. The shocking claim would be made by a Twitter user who shared a photo of Florence on the set of the show that was believed to have been taken sometime in 2020. In the tweet, the user would say, "I've just learned that Florence had a cameo in Ted Lasso that got cut. The story has layers to it, people." At the same time, it would then be said that Florence also split from her boyfriend, Zach Braff, who she dated for 3 years, and he actually directed that episode, and this is why many people started to speculate that this could be the episode that Florence was meant to make a cameo appearance in, and Jason removed it because he was good friends with Zach. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming in number 8, we have Harry Styles. While there has been much speculation about behind the scenes scandals to what actually happened on the set of Don't Worry Darling, little light has been shed on what sparked the sensational drama. However, it has been claimed that the leading lady Florence and on-screen lover Harry Styles shared an off-screen kiss during the filming, and the innocent smooch was to blame for all of the resulting uproar. A nanny who used to look after Olivia and her ex Jason Sudeikis' 2 children alleged that the actress complained to her then fiance that Harry and Florence were hooking up behind the scenes. Now, it's no lie that Harry
and Florence had chemistry from the start, which translated incredibly well on screen. On one night, they had a bit of a snog and a lighthearted night of fun, but that was it. That's when Olivia started to spend more time with Harry, and it made Florence unhappy as the two women continued to battle it out. On the set, many speculated that this is why Florence didn't seem to promote the movie online like she did with other films she has starred in. Number 7. Zach Braff. It seems like Zach Braff and Florence Pugh got together after he gushed about her on Twitter after he complimented Florence on her performance in Lady Macbeth. While fans have always been very critical of Florence and Zach's relationship due to their 21-year age gap and a cover story with Harper Bazaar, Florence would call out the media for their coverage on her and Zach by saying, "Whenever I feel like the line has been crossed in my life, whether it's paparazzi taking private moments or moments that aren't even real, or gossip channels that encourage members of the public to share private moments of famous people walking down the street, I think it's incredibly wrong. I don't think that people, just because they have this job, that every aspect of their life should be watched and written about. We haven't signed up for a reality TV show." While the two broke up in 2022, Florence would also state that they were trying to do the whole separation thing without the whole world knowing because it was a relationship that everybody had opinions on, and they felt like they would benefit from not having a million people tell them how happy they were not to see the couple together any longer. Number 6. Will Poulter. After Florence and Zach broke up, Florence would have to teach the world another lesson, and this time it was when she had to address the rumors that she broke up with Zach and moved on with her mid-summer co-star Will Poulter. After photos started to circulate that Will and Florence were on a holiday with friends in Ibiza, the media would be filled with speculation that Florence was no longer with Zach and that she moved on with her mid-summer co-star Will. Florence would then come out to address the rumors when she said, "This is getting a little silly now. No, Poulter and I are not dating. We went to the beach with our friends. We were about half a meter away from each other in every picture, but my friends have clearly and cleverly been cut out and framed out, so it looks otherwise." Florence would then go on to speak about how damaging the impact of these accusations can be, that she understands it is a job, but fabricating things does more damage than good. Number 5. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence has been considered by many to be Hollywood's quirky it girl, as she is always one to speak her mind. She tends to fall in public, and she's generally viewed as being super relatable by her fans. But is this Oscar-winning starlet taking her fame for granted? When Jennifer sat down for an interview with Adam Sandler in 2017, the variety actor on the Actor series, the two would discuss the negative aspects fans have and that sometimes they just don't understand what it means by respecting someone's personal space. Jennifer would go on to say, "Once I enter a public place, I become incredibly rude. I turn into a huge a-hole." She would then go on to explain that she does this so she can defend herself because when her fans ask her to take a selfie, she just finds the whole moment super icky. While Adam, on the other hand, went on to make this really awkward laugh at the remark, he would then try to offer his own 2 cents to the young starlet. He said, "I don't shut them down. My new move has been, it works alright when it's an older guy. I say, you don't want that man." Nonetheless, the damage was already seemingly done, as her explanation didn't quite rub well on many of her fans. I mean, considering these are the people that put money in your pocket, maybe just politely decline the photo and opt to get to know them instead, because a lot of your fans are actually the people who inspire to be you one day. And number 4, Chevy Chase. Now, Pete Davidson has had his fair share of celebrity feuds, and one of his sparring partners is no stranger to controversy. Another former Saturday Night Live star, Chevy Chase, wasn't a fan of the show's 2018 cast, as he told the Washington Post, "I'm amazed that Lauren has gone so low. How could you dare give that generation worse stuff than they already have in their lives? It drives me nuts." Davidson didn't take this too kindly, and he would respond by telling Howard Stern that he hated Chevy Chase because he is generally a bad person, a racist, and he simply just didn't like him. In the true Chevy fashion, the comedy star would then tell CBS Sunday Morning with a laugh in February 2022 saying, "You know who I am, and I like who I am, and it's a part of me, and I don't care. Thought about that a lot, and I don't know what to tell you, man. I just don't care." Chase, of course, has also been accused of controversial behavior on set, with his former Community co-star Donald Glover allegedly being the target of racist jokes. As the show creator Dan Harmon told The New Yorker in 2018, for his part, Glover said, "I just saw Chevy as fighting time. A true artist has to be okay with his reign being over. but I know there's a human in there somewhere. Number 3, Mariah Carey. Now, lots of celebrities have been accused of diva behavior, and some have even owned it. But perhaps few have been called a diva as many times as Mariah Carey has. It's no lie that Mariah is incredibly talented, however, she isn't everybody's favorite cup of tea. Just ask fellow singer Demi Lovato. Back in 2016, the former Disney Channel star made her feelings about Mariah perfectly clear by saying, "The woman is mean for no reason. Extremely talented, yes. Superhuman? Possibly. Unnecessarily rude? Absolutely." While the star would go on to post this as a comment on a since deleted Instagram post, her comment would come on the heels of another removed post of Mariah in which the "always be my baby" hitmaker seemed to diss Ariana Grande. As well, Mariah infamously continued the "I don't know" comments regarding Jennifer Lopez. Now, it's not hard to imagine that Jennifer, Demi, and Mariah won't be getting together anytime soon, but whatever distaste Mariah had or did have for Ariana must have dissipated, as in 2020, the two alongside of Jennifer Hudson collaborated on Mariah's Christmas track "Oh Santa," and Grande would even join Mariah at the end to harmonize with the latter's signature whistle tone runs. However, while we all imagine Mariah to be so over the top, none of us really expected her to be this mega diva with no control, and it was pretty disappointing to see. Number 2, Jennifer Lopez. Rosie Perez and Jennifer Lopez worked together on Living Color in the early 90s. Perez was the choreographer for the sketch comedy show and even fought for Jennifer, who appeared in over 60 episodes to get her big break as a fly girl. In her 2014 memoir, Handbook for an Unpredictable Life, Perez would claim that the Waiting for Tonight hitmaker on-set behavior was inappropriate. All of the girls were coming into her office and complaining about how Jennifer was manipulating wardrobe, makeup, and Rosie to her advantage. Rosie would then claim that when she addressed the issues, Jennifer responded by screaming and pounding her chest. Unfortunately, their apparent feud heated up following Jennifer's exit from the show, with Rosie accusing her of acting fake and friendly. Rosie would also go on to say, "I was blindsided. I thought we were cool. I called her up and she wouldn't pick up." Shortly after Jennifer ended up ghosting her, Rosie would run into her at a club, and instead of remaining cool, she went in with her biting tongue and gave Jennifer a piece of her mind. On the positive side, it does seem like Rosie doesn't hold anything ill will towards Jennifer these days. As she's even said, "I don't hate Jennifer Lopez. I had great respect for her. Yes, we had a tiff and it was 20 years ago, and I write in my book, I've moved on. And I'm sure she has also. However, who knew Jennifer was actually so hard to work with on set? And it's actually pretty surprising to hear." And coming in at number 1 today, we have Tommy Lee Jones. Oscar winner Tommy Lee Jones is apparently not a fan of Jim Carrey. The two worked together on Batman Forever back in the 90s, and as Carrey recounted on Normal McDonald Live in 2017, Jones didn't mince words when it came to his lack of fondness with his comedic co-star. After Carrey spotted him having dinner at the same restaurant as him, Carrey would end up going over and saying, "Hey Tommy, how you doing?" And Tommy's face would go white and he would start shaking, and it was at this moment Jim knew that he was about to have a pretty unpleasant interaction with the Men in Black actor. Jim would say, "And he went in to hug me and he said, 'I hate you. I really don't like you.'" While Jim went to find out what the problem was, he pulled up a chair, and that probably wasn't the best move to do, but he just wanted to talk things out, and Tommy said, "I cannot sanction your buffoonery." Now, Jim kept a mostly good attitude about the incident, summarizing, "I was the star and that was the problem. He's a phenomenal actor though, I still love him." Some have since defended Tommy's apparent attitude, however, as pal Richard Jones once told Texas Monthly that, "You need to remember, Tommy's got a lot of cowboy in him. He's got a cowboy spectism about people he doesn't know." For me personally, I don't know who I'm more disappointed in, Tom for not giving Jim a chance, or Jim who aired their dirty laundry out for everyone to hear.